For a long time I've wanted to visit the Lake District.
This doesn't even look real.
Those beautiful rolling hills which inspired the poets, where Wordsworth walked, where Beatrix Potter wrote her stories. It's a landscape that I wanted to see, that I wanted to be inspired by, and I had a few days, so I took a train up to explore the lakes. Just as a side note, I feel like the train is part of the trip. I love a good train journey, and there is nothing quite like reading when you are on a train and looking out at those beautiful landscapes, but especially when you're travelling north, the way that the landscape shifts and becomes more and more wild, more and more green as you move away from London. I do also find it a prime place to write, so I was working on my novel on this train journey, and I started Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, which is the book I was reading for the duration of this trip. Truly such an incredible novel, like I would highly recommend it.
Windermere, please read the safety.
He's going for the bird seed. This is why you should always carry birdseed. Because I've now got this beautiful murder of crows. Are they crows? They are enraptured. Look at them.
Just arrived after 8 hours. I think it's taken me 8 hours. I left at midday and it's now 8:15, so 8-hour travel day. I'm now in the hotel. I'm staying at Surrey House. It's a B&B and it's in near Surrey, which is the village where Beatrix Potter lived. I really wanted to be surrounded by the landscape that inspired her, because ultimately that's the reason that I've come. So this is the view. It looks out over the lake. This is Ethelwaite Lake. You can kind of see behind the trees.
This doesn't even look real. And the birds are singing so vibrantly. The chorus is just... I don't think I've ever heard such a loud chorus, and where I live we do get a lot of bird song, so that's saying something. Got my wonderful steaming tea, and of course you already know that I have gone ahead and changed my VPN address. I've just used the quick connect function to connect to a random area in the UK. Using a VPN, as I always say, is Just one of those extra security measures that you can take when you're traveling. I am always wary of using a public Wi-Fi network, but this just makes me feel safer about doing that. You can use the Quick Connect, which is so easy. You literally just click once, but it's equally as easy to change your VPN to anywhere in the world just by clicking on that country on the map.
Part of NordVPN is also this thing called Threat Protection Pro, which basically can detect fake shopping websites. So if you accidentally go onto a fraudulent shopping website, it will tell you and then protect your data. Again, just keeping you safe when you're browsing.
If you're traveling soon, if you use public Wi-Fi networks and you've been thinking about trying a VPN address, then NordVPN is the fastest VPN server out there, and you can get an extra 4 months free on the 2-year plan if you use my link, nordvpn.com/Ruby. I'm going to have my tea and then I'm going to read in bed. And I will see you tomorrow where we're going to walk the Lake District.
It's raining. This is my house. I've got an hour till I'm going to Hilltop, so I'm going to walk down to the lake and just have a look around, and it's raining, which brings me so much joy. I'm not sure if you can see, but there are ospreys in the distance. I can't stop humming the beginning of the Beatrix song. So Hilltop Farm is right next door and my reservation is in like 20 minutes. You do have to pre-book through the National Trust if you want to go, like you can't just turn up on the day, so that's a very good thing to remember. Everyone's going, oh no, this awful weather, horrible, hopefully it's better for the rest of your trip, and I'm probably here like, this is the reason I came. I literally, like the thing that made me decide to come in the end was I looked at the weather, and at home we had 1 day of rain, and here there were 3 days of rain. I was like, oh well, this is a good reason. Here we are at the reason I came to the Lake District at all, Hilltop, which is the house that Beatrix Potter bought with the money that she'd made from her first few books. This house is filled with the most beautiful, eclectic furniture. She really enjoyed the craftsmanship of old furniture, and so she would only buy things that kind of had history to them. The best bit though is how this house shows you how fiction and reality merge in her writing, because so many of these spots are familiar because she drew them in her books. So for example, this staircase is in the Tale of Samuel Whiskers, where you see Tabitha Twitchett going up the stairs. But there are so many things like this, so weirdly this house feels very familiar. There was also a temporary exhibition on about the tale of 2 bad mice, and they have Beatrix Potter's doll's house, which she bought when she was 73, so this isn't the one that inspired the story, but it's recently been restored by the National Trust, and it's just so quaint and beautiful, and well worth visiting Hilltop just to see this. Another favourite thing that I saw is this letter to Noel Moore, and it was to Noel that Beatrix Potter first wrote the story of Peter Rabbit.
I'm going out again, this time an hour and a half walk to Windermere. It really is very far from where I'm staying and there are no buses. There she is, the lake. There's another National Trust property here. And I'm tempted to go, but I also don't want to be out in Windermere so like too late, considering how long this journey is. This is what I come for.
Now, as you might be able to tell, I am sitting outside on this boat in the pouring rain, and let me tell you, this was the highlight of my entire trip. The crew members on this boat were telling me that I was absolutely mad for sitting outside, but it was just glorious and I felt so alive. I maintain that there is nothing like being outside in the rain.
I'm now doing the rather rushed walk to the ferry again because I really want to catch it so I can get the last bus back to near Sorry, because I don't really want to do the walk again. Hopefully I'll get the bus. Also, the idea of sitting on a nice warm bus right now feels like such a treat. Look how soaking wet this jacket is. There she is. I did just miss it, which means I'm going to miss the bus. Two miles to go. I've got about a mile and a quarter to go. 1¼ miles to go. I didn't go this way on the way here, so it's a slightly different route. It's so pretty. Got a little bit lost, but I'm now back on the footpath and I've only got 2/3 of a mile to go. I'm now walking through a sheep field. And here we are, here is near Sorry. I'm back. I just got back and I am fully exhausted. Like, oh my gosh. Also, look how sad this is. My copy of Piranesi has got so badly water damaged. It's one of those books as well, like I often like it when books get like this, but it's so beautiful that I really wanted to keep this one pristine. But really, if I wanted it to be pristine, I should not have brought it with me on a walking trip and put it in my pocket, so that's on me. I just got some Earl Grey tea bags and some oat milk. Honestly, the last hour of that walk, I was just thinking of a cup of tea, like craving an Earl Grey tea. There is nothing like a cup of tea when you've been walking. Here I am, soaking wet. I had so many people tell me like, wow, you are soaked through. And it is true, I most definitely am. I had a lovely day. It was very fun. I didn't like Bowness on Windermere. It was really busy and I don't really like busy spaces. I loved the boat trip though. I'm going to make the window sill the desk. I want to do a little journal page about today. This is very much inspired by Noah because Noah journals a lot and whenever she goes somewhere she'll collect little bits. And I've also brought my mini printer with me and I've got scissors and glue, washi tape, and then also this little travel watercolour. I've also got my tea. It's printed on sticker paper. So that's the view from Beatrix Potter's bedroom window. I'm on a walk from near Surrey to Hawkshead, which is a local village. It's actually the village where Wordsworth went to school, like his grammar school is there. Absolutely beautiful. As I'm looking out over this landscape, I am still in disbelief that I'm here and that this is real. It's just so beautifully preserved, and it makes you grateful to Beatrix Potter for all of the work she did in conservation. She bought so much land so that it wouldn't be built on and nothing bad would happen to the land. Side note as well, I'm having an anxious day today. I'm going to try not to let it stop how I spend today.
So of course I did go to Hawkshead Grammar School because I wanted to see where Wordsworth studied, and this is really beautifully preserved. It was founded in the 17th century and there are all of these engravings where the boys engraved their names into the wood, and this one is allegedly Wordsworth's, though it's kind of contentious as to whether it's his, because apparently the W's aren't like he does his W's. So cool though, and I feel like graffiti, more than other kinds of writing even, is just this wonderful reminder that historic people are real people, and that they just want to leave their mark and their name on things. Like, there's something so beautiful about that. I then got the bus to Ambleside and I made a beeline straight for Fred's bookshop because, as I say, I was just feeling anxious today, feeling quite overwhelmed, and nothing makes you feel safe and happy and calm like a bookshop, so I had to go. And after the bookshop I went to the Armit Museum. I do enjoy local museums and learning about the local history. This one was founded by Elizabeth Armit. Armit was actually one of the first women to ever get a Bodleian Reader card in Oxford, which I thought was so cool. Definitely the best thing I took away from this museum was just a knowledge of Elizabeth Armit, because I'd never heard of her before.
How cute! This is Riddle Hall, but the grounds are gorgeous. I've not checked in for a very long time. It's now 8 o'clock and I actually came back at around 3:34. I was just getting really overwhelmed, and I said this morning that I woke up feeling anxious. I was hoping it would get better, but it got worse over the course of the day, and it just got to a point where I was like, I don't want to stay outside anymore. I just want to go back. I've just been journaling and writing and reading. I've had a very, very easy afternoon and evening, but I now do want to go outside because I am in the most beautiful place. I haven't wasted this time because I do think I needed to come back, but I'm frustrated that I wasn't out walking. Again, this is the just incredible view that I'm looking out at. Quite sad that there's no rain though. It's just one of those landscapes that doesn't look like it should be real. Like, it's something that should be confined only to a Victorian landscape painting. And not that it should, but just that, like, it doesn't feel real that it could
possibly be, I could actually be looking at that. Look. We were like twin lambs that did frisk in the sun. This really is just one of the most beautiful landscapes I've ever seen. Just as nice today, if not slightly nicer, because it's not quite so busy even though it's Saturday. I think this is a bridge that goes over the lake, and you can see the lake there. There we go. I was just told as well by a lady at the National Trust that Ethel Lake was the inspiration for Jeremy Fisher and his lily pads where he'd sit. But anyway, that brings us to the end of this beautiful trip to the Lake District. It really is a magnificent place filled with the most glorious landscapes, and you can see why it inspired the Romantics and Beatrix Potter as it did. If you ever get a chance, I hope that you're able to go, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching.